Hey guys, I'm up here on Cucamonga Peak in Angeles National Forest in Southern California. Now in this video I'm going to show you what the hike looks like, where to turn, what the trail's like, so that you can get up here successfully. Now if you want to come and do this, I also have a full guide on HikingGuy.com where I have maps, parking information, so check that out before you come. And as you're watching the video, if you're enjoying it, if you could do me a big favor and just click the little thumbs up, it's an easy way to say thank you for the video. It helps other people find the video, and it's an easy way to sort of pay it forward to other hikers who might want to do this hike and are wondering about what the experience is like. All right, guys, let's go out and do the hike before this crow bombs me. This is the summit, by the way. I can show you this right now. San Gorgonio, San Jacinto, the Crow, and Saddleback Mountain. It's a really cool summit area. There's all kinds of cool areas. You might see people taking selfies or take pictures with this rock right here holding summit sign. So really fun hike. But anyway, let me show you how to get up here. Let's go. All right, so the hike starts at Ice House Canyon, the parking lot here, and the trailhead is actually just at the end of the parking lot. And I'll talk about the challenges of parking here and also permits on the guide and hiking guide, so check that out. But on the left is the permit box, a couple of trail boards. You just simply open this up, helps bring your own pen in case there's not one here, fill it out, and then put the white copy in on the side right there and keep the yellow copy. And then you can start your hike, and it's pretty wide, easy at the beginning. And then after a minute or two, it'll start to get rocky. And overall, this is a pretty rocky hike. So just a heads up, a lot of it looks like this and feels like this on your feet, but it's definitely doable. It's not that long. Now, as you go up, you're also going to see a lot of these cabins. There's about a little over 20 of these left, but at one point there were over 100. But obviously flooding, landslides, fires have destroyed these over the years, but there are still some, and they're private property, so please respect that. You also see a couple of these little side trails down to the creek. A lot of times families will come here with kids and they'll play in the creek, but for us, the main trail is always going up along the creek. We're never really going into the creek on this hike. And shortly after the beginning, there's a little bridge here. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really go over anything, but it's there and it's cute. And we're going to keep on going and keep on climbing at this point. There's more rocks as we climb up. The nice thing is it's not all rocks. There are some sections that are kind of more trail where you can cruise, but on the rocks you kind of have to pick your way through sometimes. But you can see it's beautiful, lots of trees. Now there are a lot of springs here, and you'll notice the trail gets wet in this area a lot. We're actually on a minor fault line, and there's something about the granite and the more porous rock against each other here as part of the fault creates these springs. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but that's the general idea. Now, the first landmark will be the intersection with the Chapman Trail right here, about a mile in. We're going to go straight. If you wanted to do a longer detour, you could go up along the Chapman Trail, but we're going to go straight on this hike up towards Ice House Saddle, which is our kind of first big stop here. And after that, it's a beautiful shady hike, and enjoy it. You go up along Ice House Creek down there on the right, and after about, I think, 1.8 miles, you're going to enter the Cucamonga Wilderness, which is right here. Now, wilderness area is an area that is free from development, and they're always a little bit far back from any kinds of development like the roads or the cabins, so that's why it's way back here, the boundary. The idea is that it's unspoiled by humans. Now, as you climb up there, that little notch in the distance is Ice House Saddle, where we're going next. And you're going to kind of pick your way through this boulder field and rock field, all these things that have washed down over the years. And then the trail kind of goes left. You have some steep little switchbacks as we head up onto this next section, which will take us up towards the saddle. Now here it's a big section of long, windy switchbacks, and it's steep, but it's not too bad. Definitely doable. We're going to pass Columbine Spring right here. If you need water, this is the place to get it. No more water between here and the summit. I would treat it. I know some people who don't, but I've had stomach bugs before. It's not fun. It's worth just treating it with a filter if you got one. We're going to make our way up the switchbacks. You're going to get little glimpses to the other high peaks. You'll see Twin Peaks. You'll see Mount Baldy. Just keep your eye open and don't forget to take breaks and turn around and look backwards so you can see all the nice views as you climb up these switchbacks here. Here we are back at the intersection with the Chapman Trail. That was one we passed earlier. We're going to make the right and head up the short distance to Ice House Saddle from here. In the beginning, there's, I think, about 2,000 feet of climbing. It's not nothing before you get to Ice House Saddle, which is roughly around 7,500 feet. Off to the right is the trail to Ontario Peak. Off to the left is the 3 T's trail. We're going to go straight to go to Cucamonga Peak. And this trail is a little bit hard to spot here when you come up the Ice House Saddle. It's through the shrubs here, and you just go straight through, and then this is the trail. Right after that, you'll see a sign pointing in the direction of Cucamonga Peak. And then right after that, there's another trail going down, the Middle Fork Trail down to the left. You definitely want to avoid that. You don't want to go downhill at this point. You want to head towards Cucamonga Peak, which is up to the right here. It's kind of hard to spot. It doesn't look like a trail, but it is. And once you hike for a little bit, you'll see the trail becomes more defined. And we're basically going to kind of wind around Bighorn Peak, which is off to the right. And you can get some nice views up to the Cajon Pass area off to your left as we go through this middle section, which is kind of ups and downs, I'd say. There's some downhill, there's some climbing. Eventually going to come around, you're going to see Cucamonga Peak up there. See down into the pass area again. And you're just going to go on these little ups and downs until we get to the next part of the climb. Keep your eyes open on the right for, this is Little Creek Mine, or Little Mine. This is one of the oldest mines here. They first started mining in the 1860s during the gold rush. Didn't find much gold, and then they started mining for copper. I have a video, a link to a video on the website where you can see somebody has went in there and see what it looks like inside. But otherwise, keep on going until you get to this little saddle between Bighorn Peak and Cucamonga, which is straight ahead. And now we're going to start the business end of the hike here and start climbing up. You're going to get nice views. There's Ontario Peak in the distance. I have a guide for that on Hiking Guide too if you want to hike up there. Another beautiful climb. But anyway, we're going to go up about maybe a dozen switchbacks as we go here. It's going to feel like more. But this is a steep section. It's rocky. Take your time. Watch your footing. Enjoy the views as you go up. As you go up, you're going to get views over towards Mount Baldy and some of the other peaks here. So just enjoy it. And on the way down, it can be kind of easy to slip and twist an ankle. So watch out for that. There's a lot of cutoffs here. You can see that one was blocked off by stones. You want to make sure you're always on the real trail here. Don't take the cutoffs. If you're on a really, really steep trail, there's probably another trail that's not so steep that has a switchback to make it a little bit easier. Now, after all of those switchbacks and all of that climbing, you're going to come to this junction. There's a trail that goes off to the left. We're going to go up the gully to the right here. This can be easy to miss, but once you hit the gully, you're basically going to go up the steep uphill. And this is your last section before you get to the summit area, which is here. Now, the summit area is pretty big. You'll see a lot of areas where people have camped and everything. The overhang rock is to the right, but off to the left is the highest point in the summit area. If we go over here, we're going to get nice views all the way to San Gorgonio, San Jacinto, and there's nice places to stand on the boulders and get a picture. So do that, and then go back down towards the right, where you'll find this overhang rock, and people have left some neat signs up here, but this is the rock that you'll see a lot on Instagram and stuff, where there looks like there's a rock over top of the cliff. But that's here, and that's the hike, and then you just go back down the way you came. So that's it. That's the hike. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you go to the webpage before you head out here. If you have any questions after going to the webpage, just put them under the video on YouTube, and I will do my best to answer them in the comments. And if you stick around for a second, I'll show you what the hike looks like on a 3D map. But otherwise, guys, I'll see you out there. And if you do see me, please say hello. I always love meeting all you guys out there. And I'll see you out on the trails. Bye. All right, so let's go over this on a map. This is Ice House Canyon down here. This is where we're going to start. And you can kind of break this into 3 sections. The first section being from here to Ice House Saddle. And in the beginning, we're going to climb up along Ice House Canyon. You can see it's it's not nothing. You're going to climb a couple thousand feet as you go up to Ice House Saddle. But once you get up here, we're going to do the little stretch, swing around here, where it's kind of up and down. We're going to go from the saddle all the way around to the saddle between Bighorn Peak, which is here, and Cucamonga Peak, which is here. And then once we get to the saddle part, that's when the real work kind of starts here. And if I go around this way, so once we get to the saddle, you can see there's some switchbacks. It doesn't look like a lot on here, but it seems like a lot when you're doing it. I don't know if it's just because it's a tough uphill. Whatever it might be, you're going to get up to the junction right here, and then we're going to hike through the small, steep uphill and then get to the main peak, which is over on the left-hand side when you get up, and then over here is the rock where you can take pictures and it looks like you're hanging over the edge. And that's the hike. So 3 sections. There's the first climb to Ice House Saddle. There's a second part from the saddle to Ice House Saddle to the bottom of Cucamonga Saddle right here. And then there's the final climb up to Cucamonga. If you can break it into that, you'll be able to kind of mentally tackle this hike a little bit easier.